So James Franklin is going to be a Virginia Tech Hokie now. I'm sure that's going to go very well. Also, I don't think Arthur knows that you can actually hire someone who's unemployed to your staff instead of, going directly to your, the next branch of your staff. Just a shame that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay just don't get the memo. Of course, the Falcons and Titans share ownership that just completely derail the entire team. All I can say is there better be changes at the end of the season. At least by the end of the season. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football. I'm the Grizz, and ladies and gentlemen, we got Week 11 NFL reactions. I think you know the drill by now. I'll leave the Season 2 playlist in the description, so you go click that link. Watch every episode so you're all caught up, and you also have it for future episodes whenever they come out. Also, do not forget to hit the red subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Helps the channel a lot. Without further delay, let's go react to the games. We're starting all things off with the Thursday night game where the Patriots defeated the New York Jets 27-14 to make sure they have a winning record this year. Yeah, the Jets are just sad. Fields was awful through the air, but he is a great runner. I mean, people have suggested he should switch to running back, but he had a fumble as well. He needs to hold on to that football. And I also heard they're benching him for Tyrod Taylor this upcoming week. Once again, should have happened a long time ago. Because Fields' confidence is just down the drain. John Mechie had the only touchdown in the game. Yeah, so losing Garrett Wilson can really hurt you. As for the Patriots, Drake May had a pretty solid game. 281 yards and a touchdown pass. And let me just give a shout out to Trevion Henderson real quick. I mean, Stephon Diggs had 9 catches for 105, but this man, Trevion Henderson, had almost 100 total yards and 3 total touchdowns, rushing and receiving, all-purpose yards. This guy was basically the entire touchdown machine. 2 sacks on Justin Fields, also a fumble recovery by Anthony Jennings off of a bobbled snap by Justin Fields. Just your regular Thursday night game with, the good teams beating up on the bad teams, or really vice versa to be fair. At least this one was a chalker. I would like to take this time to apologize to the whole entire country of Spain that you had to go through this. This game was just horrible on all levels. But anyways, the Dolphins beat the Washington Commanders in Madrid in overtime 16-13. A field goal contest in the first half, and then both teams traded 1 touchdown in the second half, and then overtime came. It was awful. And to be fair, Marcus Mariota didn't do so bad until that overtime interception. 213 yards at a touchdown and 20 of 30. The rushing game was pretty nice. I mean, Rodriguez, 5 yards to carry. They still needed Brian Robinson Jr. more than anything. As for receiving, Deebo Samuel had the only touchdown in the game with 7 catches for 74 yards. I mean, the defense for Washington actually didn't do that bad. At least the senior citizen defense up until the fourth quarter and overtime. Once again, I don't think Tua is the answer for Miami. I mean, 171 yards, 14 and 20. He is once again carried by his rushing game. Devon Achane was the entire offense, and then, of course, Ollie Gordon was the one who scored. But let me explain something to you. You know how difficult it is to get 20 tackles? That's what Jordan Brooks got on the day. 20 total tackles and a 10-10. By the way, it's kind of the same thing, and then, of course, the overtime came, and Jack Jones sealed it off in the interception. Damn you, Riley Patterson. Why'd you have to be good for the Miami Dolphins, but you couldn't be good for us? I hope every NFL fan and every Commanders fan just gets that game out of their head. Up next, the Green Bay Packers once again played down to their competition, beating the Giants by only 7 points, 27-20. People who say that Jordan Love had a bad game because he had 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, his receivers were dropping a lot of passes from what I've heard. Josh Jacobs left the game early, and Emmanuel Wilson had the only rushing touchdown. I mean, the rushing game wasn't that bad. Oh yeah, Malik Willis threw a touchdown also. One of the touchdowns went to Josh Allen. There was also 2 touchdowns from Watson, including a ridiculous catch in front of 2 or 3 defenders in the back of the end zone. This was a coming out party for him. Micah Parsons was effective on defense with 1.5 sacks, and Evan Williams got the interception on famous Jameis. Speaking of which, he threw an interception, 200 yards. He was a little sloppy through the air, but rushing, he wasn't too bad. He did score a touchdown. Singletary had 2 of them. 2-sack game for Brian Burns, but unfortunately, I'm going to talk about somebody a little bit later on, but Brian Burns is now second to someone else in the sack leaders. Really the only great thing about the defense. No, but seriously, Green Bay, you need to stop doing this shit. Stop being like the Steelers. That's their job to play down the competition. What the hell happened here? Houston barely escapes the Titans 16-13 on a game-winning field goal? What the hell? Oh, this one should have never been close. Davis Mills, 26 of 41 for 274 yards and a touchdown. I wouldn't say he was bad. It was more of like, they just couldn't, capitalize on the field position they got from Davis Mills' throwing. Rushing game didn't do shit. Receivers led by Nico Collins, who had 9 catches for 92 yards and a score. I mean, the defense was incredible. 3 sacks, including 1.5 to Neil Hunter, but sheesh, that was a little bit too close for comfort. Hurricane Fairbairn was injured, so Matthew Wright came in. Hey, shout out to him for getting the game winner for Houston. Cam Ward, once again, with the resources he hasn't been horrible. 194 yards, a touchdown, 24 of 37. Rush game definitely did not help him whatsoever. Van Jefferson got the only touchdown, but that's pretty much all of the positives for the Titans offense. Defense was amazing with 4 sacks, including 1.5 for Artie Key, and Jeff Simmons also had a sack, and yeah, he is on probably one of the most miserable situations in the NFL right now. No wonder Harold Landry left. It does suck that I'm rooting for the Titans, and unfortunately, yeah, they are 1-9. They're probably going to get the number 1 draft pick again. Could you maybe, use that on Jeremiah Smith? We got another game that came down to a game-winning field goal, but this one, Carolina Panthers beat the Falcons 30-27 in overtime. Our offense was impressive in the first half, but then, of course, the second half came, and yeah, I think you know the rest. Bryce Young absolutely went off in this game, 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. Why does this guy play so well whenever he plays against us, like 1 game per year against us? He didn't even do that good against us the first game because the defense completely stifled us. No help from the run game? No problem. By the way, Rick O'Donnell's still getting 100 all-purpose yards. Then you also have Saban Leggett, 4 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Ted McMillan, 8 catches, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yikes. Defense a little bit struggled in the first half, but then, of course, the second half came, and yeah, they did pretty well. And unfortunately, Ryan Fitzgerald will forever live in my nightmares because of this game. Michael Penix went down with an injury, in about the second half, so Kirko Chains had to come in, and he was ass. Penix's incompletions, one of them was a bad pass, one of them was also a Darnell Mooney drop, and the other was a throwaway. For all you Penix haters out there. Bijan Robinson had a bounce-back game with 100 yards rush and 2 touchdowns. Algier scored as well. Drake London, 7 catches for 119 yards. We're basically the Broncos from last year. Of course, we need a second wideout. Defense was great. 4 sacks. The rookies are coming together. But of course, when your defense is out there on the field all the damn time, it's hard to get another stop again. I also saw Kobe Bryant got some time. He was actually pretty nice with the limited snaps he got. So hopefully we keep him around as well as like cornerback 2 or 3. And also, can we please get Nick Nash some time? Because I think he could be a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 kind of player. It's a good thing we got a kicker, though. I swear, everybody needs to grow a pair of balls and fire Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson because you are allowed to hire coaches that are unemployed. Have Jeff Ulbrich be the interim head coach again, and then have Brian Daboll be the OC. I think you can be an interim head coach and a defensive coordinator at the same time, no? Another game-winning field goal. It came down to Bears survive again, this time against the Vikings, 19-17. Underwhelming performance by Caleb Williams for only under 200 yards, 16-32. Rushing game, DeAndre Swift carried the load, and of course, Monongai scored the touchdown. Just an awful game for J.J. McCarthy. 2 interceptions, one by Nashawn Wright and one by Kevin Byard, who now leads the entire NFL in interceptions. Good for you, dude. Used to play for the Titans, now playing for the Bears. Pretty good stuff. By the way, Carlos Santos was on fire this game. 4-5, including a game-winning field goal. Good stuff, bro. 9 didn't show up at all for J.J. McCarthy. 150 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Running game carried him as well. Aaron Jones, 4 yards to carry. Jordan Mason, 7 yards to carry. And, of course, a touchdown. Only touchdown went to Jordan Addison. And, of course, Justin Jefferson, once again, very frustrated with QB play. Vikings fans are kicking themselves right now because Sam Darnold was probably the best quarterback they had since Kirk Cousins. And now Sam Darnold's balling out in Seattle. Well, except for that one game that we're going to talk about later. Good game for the defense as well, including a sack for Dallas Turner. But, yeah, yikes. Offense just stagnant with J.J. McCarthy at QB. Brings up to my point that the Vikings completely made a mistake for letting Sam Darnold walk. They should have tagged him. Next up, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars put BTA on the Chargers 35-6. What in the hell happened here? Easily the worst game of Justin Herbert's career. 10 of 18, but 81 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. I mean, the offense as a whole was just held down completely. The worst part was that the defense couldn't even help them. Another okay game for Trevor Lawrence. 153 yards, 14 to 22, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But rushing touchdown as well. And the rushing game had 4 touchdowns and like 180 yards. 74 and a touchdown for Tootin, 73 and 2 touchdowns for ETN. Jacoby Myers led receiving with 5 for 64, and the touchdown went to Tim Patrick. Defense was just outstanding. 3 sacks and interception by Antonio Johnson, surprisingly not Devin Lloyd. But defense as a whole, absolutely amazing. This was a statement when Jaguars needed this whole entire time, besides the Chiefs game. Others, we had the game of the week between the Bucs and the Bills, where the Bills won 44-32. I don't even want to know what the hell happened to Baker. I mean, he has fallen off completely. 173 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But can we give a shout out to Sean Tucker for a minute? 106 yards and 2 touchdowns to the ground. And also receiving touchdown. I know Baker Mayfield had a rushing touchdown as well, but still. Hell of a game for Sean Tucker, though. Really, the only positives for the Bucs defense was 2 interceptions by Servocio Dennis and Jacob Parrish, but that's it. Josh Allen went back to God mode, scoring 6 all-purpose touchdowns, 350 yards, despite 2 interceptions. And the touchdown passes went to Tyrell Shavers, James Cook out of the backfield, and Ty Johnson out of the backfield. Nice. Not much positive for the Bills defense either, except Daquan Jones got a sack. I think he forced a fumble that was recovered by Dorian Williams, and Cole Bishop got an interception. Great game all around between 2 great teams. It was just the better team ended up winning, and that was the Bills. And now the Panthers are half a game behind Tampa Bay. Great. Next up, the Steelers put BTA on the Bengals 34-12. Probably should have been happened a long time ago. I mean, Joe Flacco wasn't all bad. 200 yards, a touchdown, and a pick, even though he had 23 of 40. But Chase Brown had an impressive game with almost 100 yards rushing. At least with how much of an impact the defense made on it, Chase Brown actually made the most of it. T. Higgins had the only touchdown. Jamar Chase had 3 catches for 30 yards, and he is also going to be suspended for the next game because he spit in Jalen Ramsey's face. You know, the part where Jamar Chase spits in Jalen Ramsey's face, Ramsey punches back, Ramsey gets ejected, but now Jamar Chase is suspended for the Patriots game. That really hurts the Bengals. Aaron Rodgers did pretty solid until he went down with a left wrist injury, so Mason Rudolph came in, and he actually played well as also. Rushing game was decent. But Kenneth Gainwell out of the backfield got both touchdowns with 7 catches for 81 yards. DK Metcalf starting to get a bigger role again with 5 catches for 49. But Darnell Washington turned into tight end 1 with that one, 4 for 67. And yes, the defense showed out this game. 2 defensive touchdowns, 1 from Kyle Duggar on a pick 6, and the other one coming from James Pierre on a fumble return. And that fumble was forced by Brandon Echols. Like I said before, defense wins championships, and also defense gets you to 9-8. Tomlin, it's going to be another winning season for Tomlin, man. Now we move on to the 4 o'clock slate, where the 49ers completely destroyed the Cardinals 41-22. Don't worry about that fourth quarter. It was pretty much garbage time at that point. Brock Purdy is back, much to my dismay, because Matt Jones was actually playing well, and he goes out there and throws 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey still getting it done, not only through the ground, but also through the air. 120 all-purpose yards, but 3 total touchdowns. And George Kittle had 2 of the receiving touchdowns. It wasn't just the offense dominating, though. It was the defense. Malik Mustafa had a pick, so did Charles Lenoir. It was just a great game for the Niners defense, despite losing 2 of their best players. I feel like I do this every week, but fuck Eddie. And holy hell, 47 completions, I think, was the most in NFL history. And he threw 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. What in the hell? Bam Knight scored a touchdown despite the rushing game being super lackluster. And holy hell, Michael Wilson, 15 catches, 185 yards. Hell of a fantasy game for him. Same with Trey McBride with 10 catches, 115 and a touchdown. Greg Dortch, 6 for 66 in the touchdown. Yardage-wise, 49ers defense was trash. But as far as points on the board goes, yeah, 49ers dominated that. But man, yeah, the Cardinals' offense looks a lot better with Jacoby Brissett than Kyler Murray. Yeah, I think Cardinals are moving on for sure. Speaking of the NFC West, we have the Rams edging out Seahawks 21-19 because of a missed 61-yard field goal by Jason Myers, as you can see in the middle right there. It's not the kind of game you expect, though, because you would expect the Rams to be dominating this game after what they did to Sam Darnold. I swear, every time Sam Darnold plays the Rams, he just plays like ass. 279 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Good God. Rushing game was impressive. Kenneth Walker finally gets in the end zone. It was about damn time. Justice bit the jig, but once again, 9 catches, 105 yards, proving why he is one of the top receivers in the NFL. A.J. Barner also had 10 catches for 70 yards. Whoa. Stat line doesn't really prove this, but yeah, the Seahawks defense was actually keeping the offense in it. It was just Sam Darnold kept throwing too many damn picks. Just a rough game for Sam Darnold, but don't worry, he'll bounce back. But that just shows you that this Rams team cannot be taken lightly. I mean, Stafford had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, couldn't move the ball, but always got in the end zone because of his defense. But also because Kyren Williams is back to being an absolute monster on the ground. 91 yards and a rushing touchdown. Puka was the most productive receiver out there, 7 catches for 75 yards, and the touchdowns went to Colby Parkinson and Devontae Adams, my man. Wish he had more catches, though. But this is what I meant when you could not take the Rams lightly because of the defense. First 4 interceptions. 2 from Kitchens, 1 from Williams, and 1 from Kobe Durant. Wow. And they still only won by 2. Don't worry, Sam, you're going to bounce back again. Like you always do. Next up, we have the Broncos hitting a game-winning field goal against Kansas City to win 22-19 to send the Chiefs to 5-5. My goodness. By the way, Chiefs fans, it's not the end of the world. I mean, come on, you went 11-6 2 years ago and won the Super Bowl, so don't think the season's over just yet. Yeah, just another rough game for Mahomes. 276 yards, 1 touchdown, and interception. Penalties kept killing them as well. Kareem Hunt did score, though. Tyquan Thornton had a huge 61-yard catch, but then he went down with an injury afterward. I don't know if it was a concussion or not. But then also Travis Kelce had his best game of the year with 9 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. About time. Single-handedly gave me a winning record after 11 games. 2 sacks for the Chiefs defense, but it was just, I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs defense played well. It's just, you know, they allowed a completion to get the field goal out, and Broncos ended up winning. Digging the kickers on by this upcoming week, so Bucker, you're mine. The run game without J.K. Dobbins was absolutely lackluster except the McLaughlin touchdown, but Bo Nix, 24-37, 295 yards. Didn't put up any points, but was still moving the football. Cortland Sutton, 4 for 59, but then you got Pat Bryant with 5 catches, 82 yards, and Troy Fling on 4 catches, 84 yards. Like, they were moving the ball, but all they were doing was kicking field goals. But thank the heavens for a great defense. But Jaquan McMillan, what a game for you. 2 sacks, interception as well. Oh my goodness, 3 sacks total, but the Broncos are literally 15 sacks ahead of the next best team, which happens to be Atlanta. By the way, hell of a game for Will Lutz, 5 of 5 for 16 points. Longest field goal was 54 yards, and he also hit the game winner to send the Broncos to 9-2. This is starting to look a lot like 2015 when the Broncos won their last Super Bowl. The way their season's playing, it's pretty much inevitable, really. I mean, it's the only difference is Bo Nix is younger than Peyton Manning. And the final 4 o'clock slate, we got the Ravens beating the Browns in a very ugly game, 23-16. At least ugly through the air because Lamar Jackson sucked this week. 193 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. The touchdowns came from a Mark Andrews run and Derrick Henry getting 100 yards at a score. No surprise Zay Flowers leads receiving with 3 catches for 78 yards. Just amazing that the defense is just getting so much better. I mean, 3 sacks, interception by Nate Wiggins on Shedeur Sanders. Oh yeah, speaking of which. Dylan Gabriel went down with an injury after going 7 of 10 for 68 yards. Shedeur came in and of course he sucked. Keep in mind, these 2 quarterbacks had the same damn offensive line. All those damn Shedeur Glazers over here criticizing Dylan Gabriel for the same offensive line that Shedeur had. What a game for the defense. 5 sacks. Myles Garrett getting 4 of them. He is the new leader in sacks with, I believe it was 15. And then, of course, 2 interceptions. One by Devin Bush. He returned that for a touchdown. That was the only touchdown of the game for the Browns. And, of course, Schlesinger, that's how you say it. He has been impressing me. 10 total tackles, but also got an interception. Keep an eye on him for Defensive Rookie of the Year talks. And keep your eye on Myles Garrett for DPOY talks. Browns got an insane defense, but their offense is just too, I don't even know what the word is, too complicated and absolute incompetent to really do anything. Ravens are back on track though. Defensive slugfest in Sunday Night Football where the Eagles beat the Lions 16-9 because of a bullshit DPI call. I mean, the referees were doing everything to make sure the Lions lost. But let's be honest, even if that DPI wasn't called, I mean, the Lions would still not be able to score because the defense for the Eagles was just absolutely relentless. Pressure Goff all game long, 14 of 37, 255 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Rushing game couldn't do anything. Jahmyr Gibbs had to get in the receiving game just to even be productive. 5 catches for 107. Jameson Williams even had a touchdown, 4 for 88. Defense was actually pretty solid. It was just, Eagles, just scored many more touchdowns. And, of course, you had the refs on their side. Barkley, once again, not terrible, not great on the ground. Jalen Hurts, once again, horrible passing day. 50% completions, 135 yards. Did run for a touchdown, though. But yeah, the Eagles defense had a ton of pressures. Jalen Phillips got his first sack as an Eagle. Interception by Cooper DeJean as well. Also, how about Jalen Carter and also Jordan Davis getting all those damn deflections? My goodness. Them big boys over here getting those deflections, getting their hands up and batting it down. Now the Eagles are sitting atop the NFC looking pretty right now. Great job. And we're all so proud of you. Fuck off. And finally, of course, we had the blowout on Monday last night. Cowboys beat the Raiders 33-16. Or should I call them Cowgirls? Cowgirls beat the Raiders. Amazing game from Dak. I mean, come on. He is the top half QB in the NFL, and you know it. 268 yards, 25-33, 4 touchdowns. Running game was productive as well. 4 different receivers had touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb 5 for 66 in the score. George Pickens led receiver with 9 catches for 144 in the score. And of course, when you're going against the Raiders offense, your defense tends to flourish, and that's exactly what happened here. Quentin Williams 1.5 sacks. Kenny Clark even got 1.5 of a sack. There it is right there. I mean, what did you expect from the Raiders offense? I mean, rushing game was sucked. Geno Smith, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Classic Geno game again. And still has more interceptions than touchdowns. Brad Bowers, at least, was doing nicely with 7 catches for 72 yards. Get him a touchdown, damn it. I mean, Trey Tucker scored. This was another kicker I was considering doing. Daniel Carson went 3 of 3 in this Monday night game. But I don't know, man. Raiders offense could really hold them back. That's why I'm leaning more on Bucker, at least to sign him for this Week 12 game, because Sticker's on bye, so I don't know. Congratulations, Dallas, you beat the fucking Raiders. And the NFL ESPN graphics still saying Dallas has a chance of the playoffs. Don't make me laugh. That's going to do it for the Week 11 reactions. That'll do it for this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you get this up, big that thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Grizz sign off for now, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Grizzly vibes with you at all times. Take care.